Hello, guys. This is Felipe Cardoso. Hello, what's up, guys? This is Felipe Cardoso, and this is the Bolder Podcast. We normally tell stories of Brazilians who took the bold decisions of leaving their country, but today I have a Maltese here with me, Deb Shaw. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, Deb Shaw. It's an easy one.
Yeah, and Deb, well, as I said, comes from Malta to Ireland.
Yeah.
How long are you here?
I'll be 5 years on the 26th of August.
Yeah.
So, like 5 years is a good amount now.
Yeah, you could have your citizenship if you wanted.
Yeah, I have a European passport, so like I haven't thought about it yet.
Yeah.
But like...
But you couldn't live in the UK, could you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I actually moved to Ireland, because Brexit was happening and I wanted to get my master's degree. And it was between like UK, Ireland, Brexit. And I was like, I still need to speak English in a country though. So the only option was Ireland. And I was like, well, here I am.
And what was your master's in?
Digital marketing.
Oh, really?
Digital marketing, yes. And my bachelor's was in European studies and philosophy. So that's basically like law, politics, economics, all of that good stuff. And then philosophy to make myself a little bit happier.
And and you have a podcast.
I do.
Now called Take Two with Deb Shaw.
Yeah. Before it was Debbie Shaw.
Debbie.
Yeah. I changed it to Deb because you know how like there's Karens?
Yeah.
In America, the name Debbie is very popular for like 40, 50-year-old women.
Oh, really?
So I think in like 10 years' time, they're going to be the next Karens. So that, and on the logo, the B looks really like the way the font is. It ended really nicely on my face.
Yeah.
So I got it there. And it's easier. Deb Shaw, quicker. Boom, boom.
But do you think now people take you more seriously or not?
Well, they should.
Yeah. Just because your name is not Debbie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as in Debbie, Deb, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's quite an easy name, in fairness.
Yeah. And what do you talk about on your podcast?
I talk about everything, really. But when it comes to like the essence of the show itself, it would be about certain like popular topics and providing a new perspective on it. So like doing a double take, hence the name Take Two.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm the type of person that really likes to find out like all the perspectives and the opinions of like people and then like create like a little happy middle. So that's basically like the concept of the show. But I talk about everything, really.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was watching, it's only light topics, right? So it's
Very light.
yeah, depression, prostitution.
Therapy. No,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like it's mental health, it's bettering yourself and all that kind of stuff. Then I bring on musicians, I bring on athletes, and in fairness, I do love to bring on authors that would have like deep dove, I don't know what the exact word is, into a certain topic. So like, let's talk about the housing crisis. Let's talk about prostitution. But I want to make sure that if we're going to talk about it, that person has done their due diligence on the topic. And I feel like it's always like really handy to bring in someone that like wrote a book about it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And a published book.
And is it easy to find guests
No,
like that?
it's not easy to find guests at all. I think especially if you want good guests and don't want to just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
In fairness, it is easier to find authors because I love books and I love going into bookshops. So like you should see me inside the bookshop. I have my phone out and I'm just taking photos of like topics that interest me. And then I just start like deep diving and like moving backwards sort of.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of find my guests. So that
Yeah,
and then
but you see the book there. And then you see
I thought there was a book behind me.
no, I'm just imagining.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you see the book there in the bookshop, and then you see the name of the author, and then you said, okay, let me write a message to this guy
Yeah.
or this girl, and they're like, oh, why I'm gonna go there
Yeah.
to talk about it? Like, what do you say?
I usually, I'm giving my secret sauce here. So the way I go about interviewing authors in particular is, first of all, I read their work. And then what I also do is I read their work back to them to show them that I do the research, and then have them kind of take the wheel and ask them questions that they haven't asked before. Now, with that being said, the way I approach them is like, let's say if you're an author, Felipe, right? I go, look, I know that you wrote a book. I know that you've done XYZ, for instance, but I don't think that you have spoken about this enough. Because without sounding too bad, I do think that sometimes when it comes to press and just promoting something as simple as a book, it's kind of like lazy. You know, Felipe wrote a book, go buy it, that's it.
Yeah.
And usually the authors wouldn't have been given the chance to fully express what they mean in the book, because it's like a 10-minute radio slot that they get.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, listen, you have 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. It's going to be a really good chat. If you want, take a look at all of these like previous episodes. This is what I'm kind of envisioning. And they usually go, hell yeah. And then we start talking.
Yeah, and they like talking about their work. And,
Yes, yes. And it's also just, I think authors amaze me, because just thinking that they got to like sit down at their laptop and write and like slave away at this thing, and then go through so many like edits, but then put this piece of work out there in the most vulnerable way where it's just on a shelf, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have a salesperson just like trying to market and pitch you this book. And then like whether or not it does well is kind of up to people really, and timing and all that kind of stuff. So
Well,
can't control it.
This might suck anyways. Like, imagine you take like 1 year of your life, 2 years.
Exactly. And then you just sell 2 copies.
Yeah.
One being
one being your mom.
one being your mom.
Yeah.
The other one being the extra copy you have in your bag just in case someone stops you.
And some friends who don't want to buy it and
Literally.
want it for free.
Yeah, how do you sell a book? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think authors don't make any money now.
Oh, they don't make that much money. I think it's just one of those things where it's the novelty of saying that you're a published author.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Some people, they publish just to say it.
Exactly. That's quite cool about it, though. Imagine someone comes up to you and goes, Felipe, I like what you do, man.
Yeah, because they say you gotta, plant a tree, write a book,
Yeah,
and,
that's
make a
legacy.
kid.
That's legacy.
Yeah, make a kid, right?
Make a kid, right? And then, like, when you're an old person and, like, you maybe have grandkids or whatever, it's like, that's, like, there's a podcast and a book.
Yeah, that's my book.
Will you write a book? If you were given the opportunity.
I have opportunity. I just don't have an idea,
You don't have an idea. That's right.
And I don't have the discipline yet to write a book,
Yeah, one thing at a time.
But I don't know what I'm gonna talk about.
It's a weird one, eh? I think it's just peeling back and seeing why people come to you. And sometimes the answer is something that you don't like, but that's the reason why they come, and like probably that's what you need to write a book about.
I mean, the only thing I could write right now is like a compilation of whatever I learned here, about the podcast.
In fairness, in fairness, like someone that takes their podcast seriously, if they were to transcribe and write out some like a really good article or piece from what they took away from every conversation, you'd have an amazing collection of essays.
Well, we asked
ChatGPT can do it.
Yeah.
Well, God knows what it is.
Well, that's what I do normally when I
write a good essay.
It's not good. It's
No.
not good. No.
Yeah.
It's shit.
just a caption.
But no, it's okay. So I'm gonna review you how to write an article. So I take the transcript of the podcast and I put in Chat GPT and I ask it to write 500 words or 1,000 words. 500 works best because it can't write more than that.
It will get excited
Yeah.
after that.
And then I said, write a blog article about the topics from this thing. It's not great, but it's better than nothing.
I had this conversation before. I think artificial intelligence is an amazing tool that helps you go from 0 to 0.5. So like, it's very good when you need a little bit of a push in the right direction, and then make sure that you do your work and like carry on with your like creative juices. But when you're just stuck, like, I don't know what to say or do, like it's very helpful. It's a very good assistant.
Yeah, sometimes I say, look, I say, hey, Chat GPT, I'm going to interview. I didn't do it today.
Okay.
But I say, look, I'm going to interview Deb Shaw. She's a podcaster. She comes from Malta. I give some information.
Chat GPT will tell you ask her what the capital city is.
No, sometimes, it gives you good information.
I had a full conversation with Chat GPT on my podcast.
Really?
Fully.
Did you?
I asked it to be Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I had a guest cancellation, and I was like, you know what? I'll try. I'll give this Chat GPT a go. And I basically asked it. I'm like, listen, we're going to do a podcast together, you and I. Ask me questions as if you were Joe Rogan. Answer okay if you understood. And I just see okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, awesome. Clicked record, clicked it on my phone, and then Chat GPT like gave me some really good ones.
Yeah.
And then you just start talking away.
But did you have to reply to these questions?
I replied to the camera and via the microphone. And then every time I gave it a prompt that like when I was done, I clicked OK. And then it gave me the next question.
Oh, okay. No, because it would be interesting to see, if you were replying and then it would be writing.
I didn't want to have a conversation with my laptop, but
no, I know, but it would be interesting. An interesting experiment,
for sure. It started to get a bit deep and emotional, huh? Like,
does it?
Yeah. Like he, but I called it Joey Rogan. Joey asked me very good questions on that day.
Oh, it must be interesting. I should do this someday.
You should. There you go. Another idea.
Yeah.
So now you have a book and an episode idea.
Yeah. No, because like I do a lot of episodes. I have a series here called Boulder Tech, where I interview people from the technology, IT area and stuff. And I could do something like that.
I would like commission.
I could copy your idea 100%. And then,
I'm going to flag it as copyright on that, but carry on.
So what?
Oh, that's the internet. Enjoy.
Yeah. This is a copy from Joe Rogan or someone.
We're all copying Joe Rogan at this stage.
Yeah. Everyone's copying everyone. I had a podcast before, an audio podcast called Pod Irlanda, so Pod Ireland. And this was just talking about, doing a exchange program in Ireland and teaching people how to do stuff here, how to go to the GNIB office or,
Okay, yeah.
And so I was copying someone during that, but then the podcast ended and it started coming back together again. Like in Brazil, it's a big thing now, podcasts. Like there's thousands of podcasts. And then I said, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do something similar to what I did before. But now I'm going to talk about people's life stories. And then it's going to be more, it will take more time to run out of topics.
100%. Interviewing people, like everyone has an original story. That's number one. And then number two, I think it's also one of those things where like, where was I going with this? With Brazil? I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'll be honest. But
must be a lie then.
It must be. No. It was something serious about podcasting. Oh, yes. I think especially when you're foreign or you move countries and all that kind of stuff, I think people underestimate how lonely you feel or like how lonely you could feel. And it's a tough one as well, because I was thinking about this on the way here, that when, like, obviously I'm not Brazilian, but I've seen so many Brazilians here. So I sometimes have the assumption that, like, oh, you're okay. Like, if you're Brazilian and you're in Ireland, you're going to find your people. Like, you're not going to be lonely. But I think it's interesting, like, the fact that you keep bringing other Brazilians on, that they have someone, they can see a bunch of people that made the same decision as them, right? And they're also making stuff happen here too.
Yeah.
It's not nothing cheesy like living the dream or anything like that. It's just something like simpler as just sharing your story.
Yeah, and when you come from a different country, like even small victories are big victories, you know.
Victories, yeah.
Like I don't know, you are able to, open your little shop there, and then you can sell Brazilian food, or you can have something that you can call your own, and that you can. It's like you're winning outside of your place, your hometown, and I think it's harder, when you come here and you don't speak the language. No, most Brazilians, they come here, they speak zero English, and then they start learning, and then they have to, have documents, and it's like it's very hard.
Tough process. No, I'm very lucky in that all I had to do was just pack my bags and come here, and I still had like a not even a tough experience, but it was like a slow process. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what I was expecting, really.
And you were the only Maltese person in Ireland.
Yeah, probably, in fairness, that was so tough, honestly. Like, it's such a weird thing. Till this day, I still have to bump into a Maltese person naturally. It's a tough one, because you're obviously like very fluent in English, so you're English speaking and all that kind of stuff. So you don't really find a community that is like your nationality. But then you're also still othered. It's still like, where are you from? And you exist, and what language do you speak, and all that kind of stuff. It's an interesting one, eh? But I think I've gotten used to it now.
Yeah. Did you do Irish people, they ask you, why did you leave Malta? Like,
all the time.
This paradise.
All the time.
Yeah.
I think Irish people just assume that any hot country is paradise and exotic.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible, of course.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, just because the country is hot doesn't mean you want to leave.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because then whenever the heat is over here, they don't like it either. I know, I love this country so much. But yeah, I get that asked a lot. In fairness, I just tell them that, like, I had my reasons, and that I wanted, the country wasn't for me, But I was always like that. Even, like, if my mom was, like, right here, over here, she would have told you that Debbie was always asking, like, why can't we move? Like, whenever we went on holiday and I saw like a patch of green grass, I was like, I want to be here. So I know that it was meant to be. It was hard to leave Malta because I had to leave the people, not the country.
Yeah.
Like, it's the 10th smallest country in the world.
It's very small.
It's very small. It's a third the size of County Laois, which is the smallest county in all of Ireland. A third of it. And then put around 500,000 people on the island, right? And we're fiery characters. We're big characters. And it's also a very hot country. So, like, it's just a country where you either get very overwhelmed by the sheer amount of people around you, or you back away. And it was too overwhelming for me. But I also knew that I didn't want to be held back by it either. So I was like, I turned 21 and I decided to pursue my education over here, and I was like, I'm staying.
Yeah. And you're happy with the decision, obviously.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the decision of not moving back. I feel like with COVID and all that kind of stuff, it came... November 2019 is when I graduated, and March 2020 is when the pandemic started. So it was...
So you're here since...
Yeah, 5 years,
Oh, 5 years. Yeah, 2018 then.
2008, exactly, but I graduated, so I was
Okay.
studying.
Okay.
I was one of those people that like I close the doors and I'm just studying. I didn't really experience Ireland because I wanted to make sure that I got I was privileged enough that my parents sent me here, so I wanted to make sure that I did them proud. So no, I took it very seriously. And then once it was done, I had to take the next thing seriously, which was the pandemic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an interesting one, interesting journey.
Yeah. You're very serious, Deb. You're not.
People underestimate how I'm like a silly, serious person, though. I think.
No, because you only talk about serious topics, and you
come on,
take
I crack a
everything
few
too
jokes.
serious. Yeah, and yeah, even the way I met you was like on TikTok, I think, and you had a clip, about, I don't know,
God knows.
but it was like a podcast clip about something that was like
Relevant
my
at the
God,
time.
like a crazy epic music, and
Okay.
and then I sent you a message because I was doing day studio, in the city.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, maybe if you want to do the podcast, because I was like, she's doing this podcast at home.
I wasn't.
No,
No.
before.
I was at a music studio.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, in the very beginning.
in the very beginning,
No.
I was in a music studio that was just this random room. And I paid a music producer to be behind the thingy. God knows. I had to explain to him what a podcast was.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the table. It's the table, like very orangey. That was a music studio.
But you did it in a pub as well.
And then you messaged me at the wrong time because you messaged me the day after I put like €2,000, which at the time felt like a lot for me, into buying portable equipment
Oh, okay.
to film in a pub. So obviously, like I was a freelancer at the time. There was like I couldn't be pouring out too much money at the same time, and I feel like that's what I told you. I'm like, if you messaged me like a week ago,
Yeah. No, I know.
yeah, message them. I miss my pub days, huh?
Yeah, but in the end, you went to the Boulder studio.
Yes, and then I was like, you know what? So many months had passed and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, I have used up to the euro the equipment that like I paid for. I'm like, now it's time for a studio. And then you left the city center.
Yeah.
Broke my heart.
It wasn't great for me.
It was perfect for me.
Yeah. Like, going there every day, and like I was like, that place didn't have a window, in the ground floor. And then I had no vitamin D, I stayed there for forever, like 10, 11 hours a day in that little place there. And, I had 3 podcasts a week to try to be as productive as I could.
Are you still on 3 podcasts a week, or?
Yeah, but I'll do less now.
You'll do less.
I will go to 2. Well, 2 live and 1 recorded.
Yeah. Okay. Valid. Valid. Oh, that's still 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, because like the live podcast is the one that has more, takes more of my energy, I think.
For sure, yeah, because you need to make sure that everything is entertaining non-stop.
Yeah.
Which is, I do think that's quite like a challenge, though. But yeah, no, I empathized with you, like, having to come in every day and all that kind of stuff. I do think, like, with me, it was a little bit different because, like, I knew what to do and how to do it, so you didn't need to.
Yeah, especially that, like, you were, you
best.
you knew how to use it, use the equipment and stuff. But some other people who were renting, I had to be there.
It's tiring to be a teacher, like, and a manager and a video editor and all that kind of stuff at the same time. Huh?
Yeah.
Was it tough for you to walk away from, or was it easy just
to come back from there? For me, it was a good decision,
Yeah.
Like, it was, at first it felt like I was failing, like, oh my God, it was hard to get this place.
Yeah.
it wasn't that hard. It was a bit hard, to get that place, but it was. And then I was like, it's a lot of work, and I'm leaving, and it's like I'm failing. But after that, after I took the decision and I said, look, yeah, it is what it is. I'm getting very tired. I did a pros and cons list, and then I said, okay, it's better to go home. Like I will lose some revenue in the renting out the studio, but like you see the risks of anyone could break that window and then just take everything from me.
Yeah. 100%.
And then I was like, no. But yeah, it was good. I'm happy with this. And I lost some revenue renting out, but then I didn't have also to pay rent, so
yeah,
it's
exactly.
fine.
So you're fine.
Yeah.
And like you're back doing what you love. I think it's one of those things where like you had to try it to find out whether or not it was for you, really, to be honest. And if it wasn't, it's fine.
Yeah, and I met a lot of people, like, I met you, I met the other girls there from, now I forget the Wild Geese.
Yes.
Yeah. And other people who recorded podcasts there, like Brazilians, and a lot of people who went there just to annoy me.
Annoy you?
No, I mean, they just wanted to, I want to visit the place because I want to record the podcast. And then when you say it was cheap. Come on.
You honestly, like my heart broke when you told me for so many reasons. One of them being the price tag, because it was such a good catch. You know what I mean?
And then people were like, "Oh, but I think it's expensive." And said,
they were bluffing. They were bluffing. They were 100% bluffing. Yeah. It's so expensive to run a podcast in a studio in Dublin.
Yeah.
So difficult. And I think it's just one of those things. I don't know what they were trying to tell you. Like,
I don't know. I just think they...
just
I don't know.
Give it to me like 10 euros cheaper.
Yeah, they want to make money off me or something.
No, it was a good price tag.
Yeah. And then I was like, all right, I don't care, So, yeah. And then there was this part of getting clients, because it was like, you weren't my client. I wasn't thinking you like that, It was like, let's share the space here, and then you pay me something just to keep me going, just to,
Exactly. I think the way we were working was really good. It's like, okay, I want this day. I'm going to be here at this time, blah, 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 blah. I think it was difficult as well the moment that more people started coming and all that kind of stuff. It's like, hey, I need that fucking slot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So obviously it got competitive.
Yeah.
But I also understand that because you didn't have extra staff or a team behind you, there's only so much that one person can do. So yeah, no, but I'm happy that you're happy, basically.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
You need to figure it out. Are any of the podcasts still going? The ones that...
I think the Wild Geese.
Wild Geese are still going.
Yeah. But and you, and I don't know.
The women are going.
Yeah.
Have you watched the World Cup?
No.
How dare you?
Brazil lost.
Yeah, were you following them before? No.
No.
Oh, there you go. I knew that.
I wasn't.
Because Brazil lost.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't know. I think it was... I just heard the conversation, but I didn't watch it.
Heard the conversation?
Yeah, on, people fighting. You should watch. Oh, you shouldn't.
As in, whatever. Yeah, like people need to calm down a little bit. Do you care about football or?
I watch the World Cup every 4 years.
Just not the women's. Naughty.
I didn't. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not against it. I'm just.
If you're not a hater, that's all that matters. Yeah. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's a free world.
But was this a topic in the podcast as well?
No, when I was walking here, I was like, I wonder if he was following Brazil's journey and all that, because obviously Marta is like one of I'm assuming one of Brazil's like top athletes, and
Yeah.
I would have thought that you would have some feelings about it.
I don't have feelings at
Yeah,
all. I
that's
don't have feelings
valid.
about anyone. Except my wife
Yeah, that's what we were gonna say.
and my family. Yeah. But no, I wasn't.
Valid,
And
valid.
to be honest, I didn't know it was going on.
Really?
Only after the whole discussion, you know, the
Wow.
topics.
Even like considering the Irish team like went up to the World Cup, like did the marketing not reach you? No. So interesting. I find that so interesting. Because it's like the fact that what feels so obvious to me is not to other people.
Yeah, but like, where's this marketing? Like, I don't watch TV, you know,
Social.
at all.
Social. I would have thought social media would reach you, but alas, it did not.
Yeah.
It's okay though. One for Boulder News next time.
Yeah. Did you see Boulder News? I have
I saw Boulder
News
News as well.
but I don't post anything there. Like, it's very dead. It's a dead page. Yeah.
You have lots of ideas.
Yeah, you know, I have to. I mean, I want to develop more,
Okay.
but I gotta be conscious, you know, of stuff that I do. Even like, you know, I gotta make some money and then spend on some areas here. And like, I don't have a lot of people to help me. You know, I do a lot of stuff on my own, and it's very complicated. And even Boulder News, like, I would, like, you know, you have recorded yourself. Even to focus the camera when you are recording, it's really annoying, you know. And for me to be like in the news, I have to have a lot of cold topics that I could just post every week, and then some hot topics that I would just squeeze in. It's hard, you know.
Do you record on your phone?
No.
That I don't know, but like it's one of those things where like people underestimate the power of the phone and using it as like the quickest tool.
I know, yeah. I will start.
Yeah.
Even now that I'm planning, like, I went to Portugal to do the podcast there, and we were there like for a week, but I brought a lot of equipment. You know, I brought 3 cameras and, you know, like my A10 Mini, everything to do the podcast there, and it was really hard, you know, and the quality is not as great as it is here. Even
because of the lighting,
yeah. And there was a construction going on in the next door, you know.
So.
And now, when I do this again, I will just bring my phone. Maybe 2 phones, but...
maybe 2 phones. In fairness, I've been using my phone so much now. Just because of that. Like, it's so much better. It's so much easier. And it's reliable as well. It's not like anything is going to be out of focus, you know? It's just like... I know it's going to be fine. Sometimes I just need to make sure that I'm like I'm definitely recording.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, just use your phone and like eliminate one thing. Yes, of course, it can always look nicer. But in fairness, whenever I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see someone try to talk to me in a really nice setup, I move. Like, as in, people are consuming stuff on their phones now. So like the simpler, the better.
Yeah. No one cares, you know, about the quality. Like, they care about the audio quality.
The audio quality, everything.
It has to be good.
Yeah, that's obviously, like, it can't be super duper pixelated. I do find myself sometimes still, like, beating myself up over certain things. But auto mode, just let it go, you know? And free-flowing, be fast.
What do you like more about doing the podcast? What's the best thing?
What's the best thing? I would say not even before, but I love doing the research, and then I really like having the interview where and seeing the reactions if like I surprise them with a certain question, you know. So like I like the impression of, oh shit, Debbie did her research, you know, and like you can see them enjoy themselves because like they're getting the opportunity to talk about something that they are super passionate about, like kind of like letting them take the wheel, really.
And
I hate the editing and the production of it.
so you gotta have someone to do this for you.
Yeah, 100%. But I am also a little bit of a control freak.
Yeah, I understand you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me to have like a creative vision in mind and then explain it to someone. And I also know, like, I'm also self-aware enough that like if I didn't explain it well, I have no reason to be angry at you, you know, or like frustrated at you.
Yeah.
Because then it's like a bad reflection on me, right?
Yeah.
But then in my head, I'm kind of like, well, don't say anything and do it yourself, you know?
Yes, but at the same time, it's a bottleneck, you know,
Yeah. It's catch-22. The podcast is not big enough where I need to bring someone on. I still like having full creative control over it. If the day comes around, then the day will come around, you know? But I think either way, I would still probably prioritize someone clipping the content first before clipping the full podcast. Because I still want to know what I said.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it depends on the conversation. If I knew that if I knew that I had you on the podcast and this wasn't a good conversation, I will dread editing it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm listening to it and I'm like, you know what? It's not all that bad. Like.
Yeah, I don't like hearing myself, you know, and the only thing I do after the podcast regards to editing is just clip the beginning and the end and put on Spotify, you know.
And at what point, the beginning and the end, like, do you mean your intro or the beginning of
No, I trim the beginning because when I record the video, there's like a small piece of the beginning before the live stream starts.
About me or just about
just the sponsors and stuff.
Got you.
So I just trim the end, you know, just make the actual file.
Neat and tidy.
And then put on Spotify. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like I used to do the reels, you know, but now I have an editor who is doing the reels.
That's shit.
And yeah, it's helping me. Like sometimes I do, but I prefer to do like if you say something interesting and I do this part, you know, but about me, I don't like it.
That's my problem. Like, I don't like clipping myself because then I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
like, what are you on about? What are you saying? And I do think that's a reason why I also have limited growth on the podcast because all I keep doing is clipping the guest.
Yeah.
And like I include maybe like my question for context and all that kind of stuff. But like I'm trying to go for a less edited approach now. I don't know if you would have had it, but I was having like a little bit of a tough time, like morally sort of, where I was clipping the content very heavily for the algorithm. And what it was causing was a lot of like hate or people just like taking that clip kind of out of context as like the be all and end all. And it was just like bringing a lot of negativity.
Oh, okay.
And yes, like you shouldn't care about comments, blah, 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 blah. But like, it's also my responsibility to like I'm not going to keep bringing people on for them to keep getting hated on, you know? Like, I think it's quite an irresponsible move from my part. And there was that. And then also, it wasn't growing the podcast. It's like social media has now moved with podcast clips where the clip goes viral, but the chances of them leaving the platform to go on the episode is like a little bit lower this time around because the market is so saturated. So in that sense, what I did was I had a long reflection period, but what I've done now is if the clip is 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, I don't care. I'm going to clip out the the likes, but it's going to be like a full statement. Now, people like have attention spans. It's not my problem if you like can't watch a TikTok for longer than 2 seconds. I put it up there.
Yeah.
And then I just leave it. Like, and sometimes they do really well and sometimes they don't. And it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't get my dopamine from the clips now anyways, because I know that it's not going to increase the full conversation by much.
The viewership.
Yeah. What I care about is did the X amount of people that tuned in, did they learn something new? Did they enjoy it? Yes, then I'm good. User 700, if he didn't like the 30-second clip, it's his problem, not mine.
Yeah. But about the hate people get, I talk to them normally.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't talk to you before, but it's like, I say, look, if you're going to care about the comments, it's better not to come here, because it's like eventually there will be crazy comments
100%.
there,
Yeah.
And when I do a collaboration with people on Instagram, and then the person starts responding to the comments, and that's when I know, like I say, look, this person is very concerned. Like they are, taking to their heart. Like one guy, like I did a clip of one guy talking about life working in a cruise ship, and he mentioned one salary that he got once, and I made a clip from that. I don't know why, but yeah.
Awesome.
And then some people were like saying he was lying, And this guy came to me with the payslip, and I said, "Man, like, I don't care, Like, I believe you."
Show them.
And he was like, "No, I authorize you to." It's like, I said, "Man, doesn't matter, People who don't like you, they won't start liking you.
You can cure world hunger, and someone will say why you didn't cure cancer.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be someone that will say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, I don't care about comments. What I do now, though, is if I'm in a good mood and I have time, I'm responding.
Yeah.
But like, I'm pulling their leg. I'm not responding from like a hurt or like a defensive mindset. I'm just like,
just making fun.
Yeah, give me more engagement. Respond. Yeah. Like, keep the view count going up. Silly.
I do that as well.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, these people are so anonymous. Like, it's crazy. And it's so interesting to see, like, the most audacious comments always come from the anonymous accounts, because they know what they're doing. So
is there no way to get these guys?
Of course there is.
I mean, because Instagram, they don't care. Like, they don't actually want to catch these guys, Not, I don't mean one guy who makes a joke about you. I don't mean this thing, because this, it's fine.
Yeah.
But actual, like, actual crime, it's like, and sometimes you report the comments, and it's like, oh, we reviewed it and it's fine, no problem.
Yeah, I don't report comments that much. I kind of forgot. I've only reported like threatening messages, and usually I've always won them because the messages were not good. But other than that, like, I usually I don't even know if I block, because I feel like even blocking them gives them a good feeling that, like, I recognize them. You know what I mean? So
no, I just block spam. I don't block normal people. Like,
promote it on Dublin.
These things, I block them. Sometimes they appear.
I don't even like hashtag my stuff so much. Like, they're just everywhere.
Yeah. When you post, like, when you put the city.
Yes.
They.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the city. But I need my jail tag,
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, DM it.
DM it on Explore page.
I have a word block for DM it, or promote it.
Yes.
Something like this.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because I'm tired of that thing. So
are you saying you do not want to promote it on that page?
No.
That has 500,000 bot followers and 2 likes.
500,000 followers. Fake followers,
No, 2 likes from God knows who, probably their other companies.
It's like one guy who sent me a message, oh, very nice podcast. And then like 1 million followers. And it's like, no, let me see who is this guy. everyone's fake there, you know, only fake people. And
Yeah.
I don't understand. And people believe it, you know, like if you go to a sponsor and you show like that you have 1 million fake followers on Instagram, some will believe it, you know.
And even now with buying the verified tag, you know,
Yeah, that's crap.
that's an interesting one. Yeah. Will you buy it?
Did you buy it?
No, I haven't bought it.
I didn't buy it, but
How much is it? 12 euro?
I think it's 16 euros.
16? A month?
Yeah. But
But
if, well, I'm giving ideas to Mark Zuckerberg, but
I gave you ideas, so
no, if Instagram starts, you know, messing with creators and, you know, like diminishing the reach, I would probably buy it, you know. And this is what's going to happen in the end.
I won't.
Yeah.
I feel like they will win if they take my money.
They will win anyway.
They're winning already. You know what I mean? The algorithm, like, do you see a massive effect on like pushing like to your audience and all that kind of stuff?
For me, it's fine.
Yeah.
For me, it's okay.
Exactly. I think it's just one of those things where like it's a good, not even challenge, but like I like trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to push myself a little bit in regards to like the clips and all that kind of stuff. Not the podcast clips, just mini vlogs or me talking like with a microphone, you know. I'm trying to diversify it a little bit and not copy a specific formula, if that makes sense. And my dad always said that things are like a numbers game. So just like throw everything and then see what sticks. Something will work eventually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still trying to like figure out what works really.
Yeah. Do you want to know something that works, but it's not going to work for you? For me, it is. No. Talking about Portugal.
Yeah.
It's what works for me.
In fairness, whenever I talk about a specific country,
Yes.
it always goes well.
Because people, they will tell their experience, you know.
Yeah.
They will engage.
They will.
If you say like, oh, I went to Malta and it was crap.
Thank you for visiting my country.
No, and then some people will be like, oh, you know, I went to Malta and it was amazing, you know.
Yeah. No, it's true. Whenever you talk about like traveling and your like individual experience of a country, it will always like reach that audience too. It's quite interesting. And that's why politics works quite a bit. Like, because you can just start talking about like politics in every country, and either someone will tell you you're wrong or you're right, but either way you're gonna get two comments.
But Deb, you are here in Ireland, so do you get involved with the politics here? Like, because you have to interview guests from here normally.
I don't get involved with the politics, no.
But you try to understand more, like you did an episode on the housing crisis.
Yes. So I like to approach certain things from like a more middle, like kind of like a independent perspective. Does that make sense? Because I have no propaganda or no agenda. I just want to selfishly, I want to find out more about it. I'm not going to like watch all of this stuff. So let me hear it from the horse's mouth. That's basically it. So yeah, like I am somewhat involved in politics, but then I feel like I'm not an activist, so I don't share about, like I'm not at protests and I'm not doing that sort of stuff. There's a part of me that like, I don't know why really. I feel like my little form of activism is just like shedding light on a certain situation. Just being like, hello, if you want to find out more about it without the bullshit, I'm here.
Yeah. And did you learn something about the housing crisis?
Did I learn something about the housing crisis? I had 2 episodes on the housing crisis. The last one was with Rory Hearn. Amazing guy. What did I learn about it? It's been a while now. The stats did kind of shock me in regards to like Airbnb and stuff. I didn't know how bad it was. And what he taught me as well is like how people are disregarding the concept of like the definition of a home and feeling safe in it. So with that conversation, I really like came off with kind of like a new perspective on landlords, and not even those that decide to sell, because like I understand it's your property, you do what you want and all that kind of stuff. But like in this right now, you will screw someone's life over
Yeah.
quite a bit if you tell them that you're not just selling your house, but especially if you're putting it up on Airbnb.
But don't you think the main problem is not the small landlord who has
No.
one house or one extra house?
It's not the small landlord whatsoever.
It's like you have these big construction companies. They make like one whole building,
Yeah.
and then nothing is there for sale. They just rent it out, and it's like 2,000 and something for a 1-bedroom apartment. And there is no choice basically for the people. And then like a small landlord, if they want to rent the another apartment, they have to pay half in taxes.
That's it. And it's horrible, genuinely. It is one of those things where like not even as usual, but it's always going to be the case. Whatever you do, even housing crisis aside, if you're a small business or that sort of stuff, the amount of tax that you're going to pay in comparison to a multi-billion-dollar company that has all the correct lawyers, all the correct accountants and all that kind of stuff, you are able to avoid all the bad things that comes with doing this sort of stuff. And yeah, like it's really sad. As in, if I worked really hard and I started to own this flat and then I managed to save up and get another one, why not put it up,
Yeah.
Like I'm providing someone like a new house and whatever. I think there is a little bit of a mindset though right now where there are the good small landlords, but then there are also those ones that are like, okay, that company is putting that up for 2,000. I can put my fucking shithole up for 2,000 as well.
That's true.
And it is happening. Like you can't just turn a blind eye. I saw a post the other day where it's an 11-bed house going up €1,000 a room.
Yeah.
To share with 11 people. And like, what are you providing? There isn't even a bed in there.
People are so desperate that sometimes they take it.
Exactly. But like, you can't be like, ooh, this is a steal.
Yeah.
Small businesses. You're making 11 grand a month. Shut up. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Minimum. Because most likely you have other properties. But it's one of those things where like, you need to make your money. I'm not saying put it up for €300, but come on.
Yeah, like be fair.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like, I don't like this concept of just screwing people over for the sake of money, but it's okay because someone else is doing it.
Yeah.
That's not right. It's not right.
Yeah. And yesterday, I interviewed a reporter, an RT reporter, Brazilian one, who was doing a report on the housing crisis, but the sex for rent ads. So people would... some guys, but what I found very incredible was like there was a couple, like a man and a woman who put up an ad for they wanted a Ukrainian girl to live with them and provide sex in exchange of accommodation. Imagine. Yeah. And this is happening all over the UK and here as well.
Horrible. I heard of that. Like, arrest them.
Yeah.
As in...
But it's not a crime yet.
It's not a crime yet, and I don't know how. But I do think that without, again, getting too political, because it's one of those things where, like, in hindsight or, like, even just forward thinking, like, this is the situation right now. Could a political party just come in and completely transform the situation, You never really know. But maybe everyone just decides like, no, I'm giving up. I'm gonna sell it. I don't care where this house goes. You know, I'm also of the type. I am of the belief that you should, as a political party or as a politician, the moment that you start making decisions on behalf of other people because you assume that your decision is better than them, you're going to start screwing people up and you're going to divide the country and they're going to clash like no other.
Oh, but there must be some money involved there.
There has to be some money involved there. But yeah, I don't know what the exact... sure, like start building affordable housing and all that kind of stuff. I think it's just difficult when you see the current politicians not recognize the severity of the situation.
Yeah.
Like homelessness is on the increase. If we were to get kicked out, not even the chances of being homeless, but like it is very difficult to find a place. Places are going up for 30 minutes and like off they go again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they have like a big queue of people outside, you know,
I remember going in for one of the queues and stuff a while back now. And I remember it being like, you just go in and like you try to be extra friendly with the estate agent and all that kind of stuff. But what will determine whether or not you get it or I get this property? Like
luck.
Like, is it a lottery system? Do they just go like, who was the last guy in, Felipe? Okay, he takes it. Listen, like, I don't know. And also, why do you need to see my payslip? Like, as in, if I'm here, it's one of those things where, like, I don't understand the amount of details that they ask for people and how invasive it is, where it's like, oh, this person has this job and it's more reliable, therefore they'll get it. And it's like, they can get fired tomorrow. Like, you don't know that. You know what I mean? Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not the one making the decisions. I'm the one behind the mic.
Yeah, and that's where I fail as well, because I should care more about these things.
Yeah.
You know, because like I live in Ireland now and I don't really understand their politics very well. And I don't really know what I could do to, you know, change something or help something or, you know, clarify this to other people, even, you know, using the podcast.
Can you vote now?
I think so.
Yeah, because you got your citizenship, didn't you? There you go. Would you know who to vote for?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you politically active back home? Like, did you care about it?
Yeah.
Doesn't care about the World Cup.
I care a little bit, but...
as in...
I understand a little bit, you know.
I think politics is a very difficult one, because if you end up very, very passionate about it, the chances of you being frustrated every single day is very high.
And being manipulated as well.
And being manipulated. Yeah, man, as in the best... like, I remember my early days of the podcast, I brought one politician on, and she was like my age for a smaller party. And I remember telling her, I'm like, listen, are you not scared of being tainted? Like, the moment that you walk in and you get involved in politics, you have to do dirty work, whether you like it or not. I forgot what her answer was. I don't even know if she avoided it. But she was quite strong in saying, like, listen, as long as I can, like, I would have weighed my options properly and, like, I'm properly educated on it and, like, it's fine. I don't mind being transparent about it. And I think that's the really sad situation about politics and politicians right now, is the lack of transparency. And I remember expressing that. As in, I would 100% trust a politician. Like, if you were the president or the prime minister and you made a mistake, right? If you came out and said, you know what, I made a mistake, I apologize, I would respect you. If you come out and tell me, well, and like you start gaslighting me and making me feel stupid, that's where I like turn around and I get frustrated with the situation. But I did say that, and someone told me, another guy on the podcast told me that if potentially, if politicians admit to their weakness, they might lose potentially looking like a good leader.
Yeah.
Because you want someone that's strong and certain and all that kind of shit. And it's like, okay, but I would rather have someone that's transparency is so important to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, would you care if someone told you that they screwed up? I would trust them more.
I think
it depends on how often you do it, though. As well.
Yeah, if you every day you say, "Oh yeah, I screwed
I
up,"
made a
you know,
mistake.
and yeah,
I apologize.
well, I made a deal
We're
with
at
this
war.
country.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then this happens, you know.
Yeah.
War happens.
War happens.
You know, you're gonna have to
you
go
have
there.
zero benefits. And
Would you go to war?
Me?
Yeah, if you had to.
I don't know, man. My ACL is torn.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't think I'll go to war. I was in a shooting range once and I was very scared of the guns. Yeah, I don't think I'll
Was
go
this
to
in
war.
Malta or here?
Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I wouldn't go to war. I don't think I'll be good. I'm small.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be much
You're
use.
avoiding the war.
Yeah. As in, who am I gonna represent? Like, Maltese. Malta has an amazing history when it comes to World War II and all that. We're little fighters.
Yeah. What did they do?
Basically, it's because of the position that it is in Europe, where it's on top of basically on top of Africa and like below Italy. It's an amazing like station. So a lot of countries were fighting over it, and if I'm not mistaken, Malta was the most bombed country in World War II.
My God.
According to visitmalta.com.
According to Wikipedia. Yeah.
According to, don't quote me.
Yeah.
But yes, it was heavily bombed, and we survived.
Yeah.
There you go.
But did you do something?
We helped. We helped the English, I believe. That's why we have the George Cross on the flag. Because, yeah. Oh my God, if people are in Malta, is the camera on me? If people that are Maltese are listening to this, I'm sorry for butchering the history.
Yeah.
I was never really good at it. But, yeah, no, we definitely helped the English.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was like something with Dragut back in the time of the Knights and Turkey. Yeah, Malta was constantly at war, like, but not the perpetrator.
Not leading,
yeah. It was always like we want to take over Malta, and then someone else is like, no, Malta's ours.
Yeah, no, Brazil, it's very peaceful, but it was involved in the World War II. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, some.
With which side?
Well, the good side, the winter side, the allies, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we
were on the good side too.
The Brazilians went to Italy to fight there.
Why? What was the connection?
No, they sent soldiers there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was really bad, you know, because we didn't have the proper clothing material to fight there. It was like cold.
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah.
And was there like a certain reason why, like, just send a bunch of Brazilians to Italy?
Yeah, to fight against Italy.
Against Italy. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I did not know that.
I'm butchering as well.
This is not a history podcast for a reason. Huh?
I have to call Ross here. Do you know Ross?
No, I don't.
He's an Irish guy he's very famous in the Brazilian community, but he understands everything about Irish history.
I love people that love history, and they're so smart, and they have amazing stories.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
You should have him on.
Yeah, 100% talk to him. Do you, like...
I interviewed him here.
Okay.
In English.
Are you into, like, conspiracy theories or no?
Well, I like them, you know, but I don't...
like, what's your take on, like, the aliens actually being proven? Like, did you see that in America?
I think this is a distraction.
From?
From something that's gonna happen. Something big.
Okay.
You know?
Any idea what the big thing is? Like, what's your theory? I keep hearing distraction, but distraction from what?
I don't have a theory, I just think that, the American government trying to say, oh, there are aliens now, there must be something going on there, because they always say, no, there's no aliens, no aliens. And now, out of the blue?
It was brought up so casually that it's true. Like whenever I saw it, I was just like,
and why don't you?
I knew that.
Why don't we see a spaceship,
In
on the
Europe?
O'Connell streets there, parked there?
No, that is true. Why do the spaceships and the aliens only go to America?
I don't know. I think there's something.
I want to see one down on,
Yeah.
get stuck in the spire or something.
There. Something like that.
Yeah.
But not there, It's in the middle of Nevada.
But do you believe aliens exist?
Well, I
Or
don't have a
life.
reason not to believe against
exactly.
it,
Yeah. Like there's no chance that our Earth in the entire galaxy, like we're the only ones.
Yeah.
But the way it was brought up was so weird. It was so weird. Like, you need to give us proof. If you just say yes, it was something like not human, then show us. Bring it forward.
Yeah.
Tour of the alien.
Yeah, but now if they send a picture, we will believe it. Will you believe it in the picture?
No, I won't. I'll have to say, I wouldn't.
No one's gonna believe it,
but distraction from what?
They lie so much that
Yeah, but what
we're
are they
not
going to
gonna
distract
believe
us
it.
from? That's the thing. I've heard so many people say it's a distraction from the next big thing.
yeah.
And I'm like, what kind?
Well, we just had a pandemic,
Yeah,
okay?
okay.
And they need something else now. And
We're too free.
yeah, no, now it's, they need to double down, It needs to be like very serious.
But the way the world was so divided during the lockdown was so, in my opinion anyways, or like the way I perceive things, like so harmful to one another, to businesses. Like everyone was like constantly fighting all the time. I don't see how they would, the government or like whatever, would want that to happen again. You know what I mean?
Oh, they like that.
A division.
They like that. They make.
No, they made so much money.
No, but the government, for the government, it's very good that the society is divided,
Why?
Well, because then they can win one part, they can convince one part, and then they can, they can lead on, like, because they're not going to be able to take
the whole
thing. So
oh man, this is the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Did you watch Hunger Games?
I watched it, but I don't remember, it's a long time.
I don't remember it enough, but like they had like a caste system. So that's me. Sorry,
see?
it's past my bedtime. It's on airplane mode. What was I gonna say? They had like a caste system. So it was like depending on a certain identity or like athletic ability, you went there.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would want to divide it into like certain abilities though. Like the humans, I don't know, man. I think,
but at the same time, this is a reason for the society to be united, because let's say
exactly. Then why are you gonna divide us?
Let's say the U.S. No, yeah, but
look, okay, I'll let you.
So let's say the U.S. is gonna fight. They can't fight against an alien. Okay, even the U.S. It's like the aliens are too strong for them. So they need to create a unity, right?
Yeah.
So with other countries, with China, with Russia and stuff, to be, a unity to fight against the aliens. And this is a way for them to lead these other countries, Yeah.
If this comes true, please clip this part. And then you'll just have a bunch of people knocking on your door being like, how'd you know? You guessed it.
No. Everything is. I'm just joking here.
Yeah, it's just for the lols.
Yeah.
Just the moment that something big happens,
Yeah.
I'll just receive a message.
The
I told you. So.
FBI.
Yeah, exactly. Knock, knock, knock. What are you doing? You're ruining our plan.
Yeah.
If there was a cost system, which segment would you want to be in? Would you want to be with like the smart ones?
I would like to be in the rich ones, you know.
The rich. You want to be with the
Of course. if I am to choose.
Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
You know,
Yeah, there you go.
They have an island somewhere where they can, you know. Do you know the US has a system there for the apocalypse, like that they could control the government from an airplane. Like there's a video, Wendover Productions. I'm gonna cite the reference so people don't call me crazy. So go there, watch Wendover Productions, and there is a way that they could run, you know, the government from an airplane. Like you know, apocalypse happened.
Where's the airplane?
In the air.
It's just roaming around in the fucking air.
Yeah.
Is this true?
It's flying.
It's flying.
Yeah, go watch it.
So there's an airplane right this second.
No, not right this second. No.
Okay, so it lands.
In case something happens. Okay. And then they have a plan where they could just go and the president's there safe.
But the president, as in, it's okay. Like.
Well, but the president represents the country, right?
Yeah, sure. As in, I think the best president that represents the country is Michael D. Higgins of Ireland. Honestly, I think he's the best president.
Why?
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Exactly. Amazing.
Yeah.
Love him. Goat.
Yeah, but why?
Greatest of all time.
What does he do?
He supports Irish artists and Irish activists. He reaches out to them individually. Every person that I've met that has come in contact with Michael D. Higgins has nothing but amazing stuff to say. And he doesn't get involved.
But he doesn't take the decisions.
Exactly. Amazing.
So that's
if
why
the apocalypse happened in Ireland and I found out that Michael D. Higgins was up on a plane for his safety, I'll be happy.
But that's why he's not hated.
Yeah,
because he doesn't take the decisions.
I think he's just amazing. I love him.
I don't know. Well, he looks funny.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah,
he's very cute. Don't know. What about mermaids? Do you think they exist? Not like Ariel, but like.
Too far for me then.
Like, you know how there's chimpanzees, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like humans. Do you not think there's like a chimpanzee version, but of the fish world?
No.
Really? You're wrong.
I don't know why we're talking about that, you know.
Check the time.
Let me see about your audience. Let's see how many people are tuned in.
Don't. I'm just talking. Hi.
Let me see, Carol. Can you read something there?
Do they have a question?
There are no questions.
No.
Do you have a question, audience?
There is a question here, no?
No. There is a comment from Elias.
Yeah.
It's so fucking frustrating when you plan to have a better place to rent and see that more and more bad places are getting more expensive.
Agreed.
And doesn't seem to have any chance. So
yeah. But this is what it is, right?
Felipe, that's not nice. No, it is very frustrating and it is very worrying, because it's just that's your hard-earned money going to something that is a ripoff.
I know, and especially because rent, it's like a money that of course, you're paying for your house, but at the same time, it's not your property, right? Like it's not going back to you.
No, it's not. And it's a difficult one as well, because it's like if it's if you're sharing with other people and like you don't like the people that you're sharing it with, if you're cleaning up after other people, and then also if it's just not well kept. And that's like the interesting discussion that I had with Rory as well, where he said that the way the dynamic is right now is that if the washing machine broke, I might be scared to get in touch with my landlord because he'll be like, oh, well, I was going to sell the property anyway. You know, like people are scared of reaching out and being
they don't want to be a burden.
Exactly. And you understand that, like, every now and again, like, it's scary, especially if your landlord is the type that, like, is out of the picture, you know? The only time they find out about you or remember about you is when you pay rent, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's scary. So it is very frustrating, 100%.
And sometimes they don't care about the property. Like, they just leave it there. You know, we lived in a place where, man, it was horrible, you know. They started having leaks, and the bathroom was, you know, in a bad shape. And, you know, in Ireland, mold and stuff, and it's crazy. I think I never lived, you know, when I was renting, like, in a decent place here. Like, because I visited friends who lived in Amsterdam or, you know, in Germany, where they paid expensively. You know, it wasn't cheap for them to rent a place, but the place was like in a very good shape as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Know?
Like, you know that you're getting your money's worth from it.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm very lucky that at least the place that I rent now is nice, but before then, horrible. I didn't even know what mold looked like before I moved to Ireland.
Yeah.
Fully. I remember this one time I was it was such a perfect, like, surreal moment, but I was moving out of my room, so I was getting all the stuff out and putting them right outside the door. And thank God I closed the door, and then I just hear everything fall, right? Yeah. The door to the attic fell down on my things.
Really?
Bolts, rust, everything. And I was just moving my things around already. So 100% concussion at minimum. God knows what else would have happened to me. My skull would have been crushed.
Yeah. You could sue.
It landed on, like, pillows and duvets and luggage.
Yeah.
Could
make some money.
Yeah, no, but I remember that, and then opening the door and going, like, I'm so happy I'm leaving. I was so happy that I was leaving. It was such a dodgy place.
Yeah.
That and even safety, you know. I remember living in my first place in Dublin where everything was being, like, thrown down and no one cares, and but you should be grateful that you have a place to stay. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, here you should be grateful. Yeah.
It's a difficult one, eh?
Yeah. Because imagine I don't know, man, if you have to rent and then it's like your contract is expiring and you don't know if you're going to renew it or not. But then you think about it, having to look for another place, and it's like awful.
The hassle is too much.
You
and
go
it's not just Dublin.
Yeah. And the real estate agents, they don't pick up the phone, you know. They just want your email, and they don't even respond.
No.
It's too crazy.
I would have assumed, strangely enough, that there would be, like, a business model where you are assigned someone and they have to find a place for you. I would gladly, like, this business model is, like, everywhere, you know what I mean? I would have loved to have that, you know? Pay X amount, make a commission off of me, I don't care.
But that's how estate agents work.
Yes,
anyway.
But where are they? Where is the estate agent?
Not here because they mark it upside down.
Like, it's just like, you have to do it over here.
Yeah. And it doesn't work, you know. Like, it doesn't work. just the system here, it's too crazy, I think, because it should be more balanced, but it's not, like should be, well, ideally the same amount of houses available
For-
to the same people, looking for houses, but now in people sharing, it's like, it's this culture of sharing houses here, in general, is already bad, because everyone, like, no one lives alone here, and then amongst the Brazilians, it's like they don't share, only like they have like 2 or 3 people in one room,
It's very bad.
yeah.
And they come here to learn English as well, and they do kind of like, would they manipulate that? Like, what's the situation? Like, if a Brazilian were to come to Ireland with their luggage and stuff, is it like quick for them to find someone they know to help them out or not?
They would, go onto Facebook and they would find a place, like in someone else's house. Like
Okay,
people
so they
moving,
couch surf and all that kind of stuff.
No, not couch surf, but they would find, like, I'm moving and this is my place, and then they pay the deposit to this other person who
They
is
move
leaving.
around. Got you.
Because normally Brazilians, we come here and we study for 8 months or 2 years, and then move back to Brazil. Some people stay, but not everyone. And then after these 2 years, so I'm leaving and someone else is coming here, so I just give my place. You
Okay.
pay me the deposit.
And
off I go.
and the landlord doesn't know.
Yeah. Normally it's like that.
That's fair.
Yeah, but how can we fix this? We didn't fix it, right, today. So we didn't come up with a solution for the housing crisis.
No.
We didn't come up with a solution for podcasting.
For podcasting, same with aliens and mermaids.
Yeah.
It's all about stuff that I know and that I love.
I will read the comment here from Andreas. Hello, I don't have any questions, but I like this episode. Congrats.
Okay.
And there is a question here from Elias while we are in the topic. How to plan to buy a house, though?
Not me.
How to plan to buy a house?
Did you buy
money.
the property?
Yeah. Save money. And
How long
how
ago-
to save money.
How long ago did you buy this?
2 years.
Oh, okay. So like before things got really out of hand, but it was probably still on the rise, sort of.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad, It was okay. We probably were the only ones who gave an offer here.
Really? Wow. I can only imagine what the situation is now, probably.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's amazing. Very lucky for you.
Yeah, but it was because it was during the pandemic and people couldn't see the places. So they had to pay the deposit first and then to be able to see it.
We had to put like 10,000 euros in the
Yeah.
bank account of estate agents who I never heard
No.
of before, to be able to view
see,
it.
yeah, to see the apartment. We
because-
just saw a few videos before.
We saw only a video, one video
Wow.
before.
And like, let's say if you didn't like it, would you get a full
Yeah, we would get it back. Yeah.
10,000 to start? Wow.
Yeah.
But it's good that you guys didn't have competition, in fairness.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was
And
smooth
we
sailing.
didn't have to, renovate or anything. It was like
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, it was one of those where you just like you're just moving to
Yeah.
another rental property.
Yeah.
So nice.
But empty, right? Like there was no.
Did you buy furniture and stuff?
Yeah, I had to buy everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's good.
Except
though.
the kitchen. The kitchen had, a fridge and
Easy
cooker.
stuff.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. That's
Yeah. And
lovely.
then, but it's a risk, like we took, but it's worth it.
Why a risk?
No, I mean, putting this money there and let's see if it works. And
Imagine if you just ran off with 10,000.
yeah,
Just
then I would have to
knock, knock, and someone just opens like.
save the money again. Yeah, but this was like, I talked to a solicitor and she said, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, as long Yeah. Unfortunately, I have no advice on how to buy a house.
No, but how to save money for that? The problem is the rent is so expensive that it's hard to save the money.
And groceries are expensive too nowadays
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So like everything is just getting more expensive.
But look, we complain. Of course, we have to complain. But living in Ireland is much better than living in Brazil and probably in Malta as well, for the average person.
For me, it's like the payoff is much better in the sense of like, would I be able to do what I'm doing right now back home? Yes or no? If it's a no, then I'm good. Like, I came here for the opportunities and I'm getting the opportunities. Like, I knew it wouldn't be cheap. And also, like, I know that, like, a lot of people are saying, well, it's not like New York, it's not like London. Like, yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
But things are slowly, like, the big tech is coming here. The opportunities are coming here, you know? So it is one of those things where, like, if you do want to make it happen in Europe anyways, it's like Dublin is starting to compete as a city. And it's fun, you know? I like walking to places. It's good.
Yeah, you have to walk. Otherwise,
Yeah.
would you take a bus?
But it's one of those things where, like, you can, even public transport, it's connected. It's not like you need a car 100%, like the moment that you come here.
Yeah, if you have all the time in the world, you don't
Exactly.
need a car.
If you have time, if you're young, I don't have kids, you know, like it's all good.
If you don't care about waiting half an hour or 1 hour for the bus.
I just time
It's
it right. In fairness, the Lewis was quite packed today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never came out here, so
Don't say where we are.
I won't say where we are. But I never came out here.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions, or are we all good? No conspiracy theorists in there.
Yeah.
It's just us.
All right. Okay, Deb. So, thank you. Did you like participating in the podcast?
Yeah, I always find it strange because, like, I feel it's a strange one because I need to make sure that I don't end up interviewing you. So I have to
No, but
like
it's
sit
okay.
back and watch.
I like
yeah.
talking as well.
Yeah. We all like to.
But I prefer to listen,
A host needs to be the guest sometimes.
Yeah. But you went to this Alive in Dublin as well? Yeah. I need to be invited as well. But don't invite me to yours because it's very heavy and I won't talk about my personal stuff.
It's really not that heavy. The titles are, because I try to clickbait it all the time.
Yeah, no. But it's good, I was listening, especially today, of course, but I was listening to
Mimo.
to the podcast, to the most recent one.
Yeah, love that.
Bless you. And it was very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a way, like, look, these conversations need to be had, and I'm very grateful to be the one to, like, ask the questions. But yeah, it's not that heavy. The title is heavy, and then we just, like, get into it, and then I crack a few jokes that are inappropriate here and there.
The clickbait. And I like the intro. Take 2.
With Deb Shaw.
And let me tell people to go to Take 2 podcast. Well, the name of the YouTube channel, Take 2 with Deb Shaw, right?
Bingo.
And, tune in there and subscribe to Deb's channel as well. You're going to learn about self-knowledge. Oh,
Bingo. Self-help,
No, not self-help.
No, actually, no, it's not self-help. Like awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yeah. You'll get 2 more brain cells.
Yeah.
2, specifically.
Only 2?
Only 2. Not that much. We can't. Don't want to get sued. Yeah. Cheers.
So 1 from each. Thank you. And would you like to say something else?
Don't take things too seriously, I guess, on that topic. And if something big is about to happen after the aliens, just know that I hope that you are on a plane. That's it. Thank you.
So only if you're the American president. Okay, so guys, hit the like button on this video as well. And if you like more podcasts in English, tell me somehow.
Yeah. Or else I'll keep coming back because I'll run out of people too.
Okay. Say goodbye to this camera there. Okay. Bye, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.